What's up, Lions Nation? It is We Are Lions Nation podcast live, the post-game show for the Lions and Bills preseason game. Lions losing that one 15-16, 1-point loss to the Bills. And we're going to break it down to you, and we got some news to go through, a whole lot of stuff. So thanks for joining in, and let's get this thing rolling with the breakdown. I am the Soul Man, Andy Souls, and all of you know my co-host, the Stat Man, Logan Erickson, in the house. We do have some news regarding the show. It's just going to be myself and the Stat Man from here on out. Mikey B, due to personal reasons, just cannot do the show anymore. So it's just going to be me and the Stat Man for right now. We are going to start taking in some guests. If anybody wants to be a guest on the show, wants to join us and talk some Lions football, we will be doing that soon as well. So let's kick off the breakdown with some NFL and Detroit Lions news. Let's get right into it. First off, one of the big topics you guys probably already heard, but the Jags have released Tim Tebow today. The Tebow comeback is over. No more Tim Tebow. I'm going to read a quote from Tebow himself. He said he was thankful for the highs and even the lows, the opportunities and the setbacks. I've never wanted to make decisions out of fear or failure, and I'm grateful for the chance to have pursued a dream. Thank you to the Jaguars organization and everyone who has supported me in this journey. What do you think, Statman? Did you think Tebow was going to make it, or did you not?
I didn't think he was going to make it, especially watching the preseason game there. He was missing blocks left and right. I don't know. He's just not fit for a tight end. Tight end's got to make a lot of hits, got to make a lot of blocks, got to go out and receive the ball. And even on one route, he was running the same way with another receiver, and that's like a huge no-no. Like, two receivers should not be in the same space at all. They should be spread out, all in their own areas. And it just seemed like the position change was just a little too tough for him.
I mean, kudos to Tebow for giving it a shot. I mean, yeah, especially at his age, trying to come in as a tight end. I mean, he looked good for the part, but, you know, that tight end position is no joke. And he tried, but it's over. Tim Tebow is out. I think that's going to be it. I don't see him pursuing anything else as far as any other teams go or anything like that. One of the big news topics that I want to talk about, NFL news, is something I found today. It's how the NFL is going about COVID-19 vaccinations. If you're not vaccinated, how they're going about that. So basically, they're putting their foot down pretty hard as far as, you know, getting vaccinated. According to a memo that was released, unvaccinated players and their teams would suffer the brunt of those consequences. Teams that have to they would have to cancel a game due to a spike among the unvaccinated would consider a forfeit. So if your team has a spike in COVID because one of your players is not vaccinated, then you forfeit that game. And the other team will get a win. And it does count towards playoffs as well. So it counts towards your playoffs chances and things like that. So it's a real loss. The defaulting team would be responsible for all additional expenses inquired by the opposing team. The team will also be subject to additional sanctions from the NFL commissioner, Rob Goodell, if he determines that the outbreak resulted from a failure by team personnel to follow applicable protocols. So a lot going down. It says the league would make an effort to reschedule any of those games, but don't count on it because the season was already extended and they're not planning on extending it any farther. So basically, they're really trying to push these players getting vaccinated. And anybody out there, what are your guys' thoughts? Statman, I'll start out with you. What are your thoughts on these players having, you know, with this rule, telling them, you know, they need to get vaccinated? I know we've heard players reaching out about it. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're saying that you don't have to get vaccinated, but if you don't, these are going to be your consequences. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
They're
they're
trying to
saying you
do
don't
it
have
in
to,
a
but you
sneaky
better.
way of forcing everyone to get a vaccination. They're trying to force it by not forcing it.
Right.
It's really, I don't know. I think honestly, I don't see it being an issue this year. But on the other hand, last year we dealt with a couple games, I think, that had to be rescheduled. So if it stays to about a couple games for the whole year throughout the whole NFL, I don't see it being an issue at all.
No, me neither. I just wanted to, break that down. Just I thought that was interesting what the NFL is doing as far as vaccinated or unvaccinated for this season. Quick shout out to anyone watching. Thanks for coming in and joining us. Remember to, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate that very much. And if you're watching on Facebook, thank you for joining our Facebook page. Make sure you join the Facebook group. That way you can comment in the comments. And also, if it asks you permission and you'd like to leave your name in the comments, that would be amazing. So that way we know who you are. Other news: former Lions running back Kerryon Johnson was waived by the Eagles due to his injuries. So it looks like Kerryon still facing some of those nagging knee injuries and no longer an Eagle. Thoughts on that, Logan?
Unfortunate for him. He was great when he was healthy. He could be a starter on any team when he's healthy. He's just got an injury bug and he just can't get rid of it. Some players go through that. And, well, it looks like we got a comment here. Thoughts on Detroit Lions cut Don Muhlbach today? Oh, I didn't hear about that.
We are gonna touch on that here just briefly. Thank you so much for your comment. Now going back to what you said, yeah, I Kerryon ever since he started getting hurt. It's especially with a knee. Usually it's only a matter of time before that bites you. So tough luck for Kerryon Johnson. Wish him all the best moving forward. Now going into some Lions news today. The Lions got down to the required 85-man roster limit on Tuesday afternoon, placing linebacker Sean Dion Hamilton on IR. And then they waived defensive tackle Michael Burnett and wide receiver Chad Henson. What are your thoughts on that little tidbit there, Statman?
The big one.
Anything big stand out to you there?
The biggest one is Don Muhlbach that we need to get to.
Yeah, that's next. That actually just came in just maybe an hour and a half ago. Lions released long snapper Don Muhlbach after 17 seasons and 260 career games. Dan Campbell did say that it was really a tough decision to make, and that's a big hit. What do you think on that?
He's been a lifer here in Detroit. It's going to be sad to see him go. But ultimately, the NFL is a business, and they got to treat it like a business. And if they got a younger player that they can pay less money on the team that can play just as good, I mean, I guess I'm okay with it on that aspect. But, my heart goes out to Don Muhlbach. You've been there. You've been a champ man for us. So best of luck to you.
Yeah, big shout out to Don Muhlbach, One Pride. Thank you for all the seasons and all your hard work. We really appreciate it as Lions fans, and we wish you here on We Are Lions Nation. We wish you the best of luck on any of your future endeavors. So we're going to jump in now to the injury report for the post game. Now, so what was listed as of the 16th was that Evan Bolam was placed on IR, and then DeAndre Swift still questionable, still dealing with a little bit of a groin issue. He didn't play the first preseason game. I think they're just keeping an eye on it. Don't want to do anything too much to, take out Swift. And then wide receiver Pyramid also listed as questionable with a hip, so he's got a little bit of a hip nagging in there. And then Logan, I know you had another injury as well directly from that game.
Yeah, the backup quarterback, Tim Boyle, went down in that game. I don't know if anybody realized it, but yeah, they ended up signing Jordan Ta'amu. Hopefully I pronounce his name right. But he's been on the team before. He was on our practice squad last year when Stafford got injured. We picked him up on the practice squad. He played with us for a little bit, but I don't know. That's kind of
You know,
big news. Your
I
backup
seen him
quarterback
go
is
down in that game. Like I watched him go down in the game, but then I thought I seen him playing again. So I didn't know if he was hurt or not. You know what I mean?
yeah. I don't know how serious of an injury it is. I don't think they've actually released that part of it, but I know he went down and they signed Ta'amu, and I don't know. I guess it's pretty big news because it's our backup quarterback. If something happens to Goff, second string, he's the one that's taking the reps with the first team guys. So
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see this Saturday how he'll hold up and see how he does. You know, coming in here and being as a backup, he's going to get a lot of playing time. Are
yeah,
you expecting to see much playing time the second week for the starters?
I don't think Campbell's going to risk anything. I honestly think it's probably going to be the first quarter, and I bet the last game he might play him for a half just to get him
Yeah,
used to a full half of football. I wouldn't push it past that. And honestly, you need these backups and stuff to be game ready when the season comes because anybody can go down at any time on a freak accident, and you're going to need that next man up. So get all
yeah,
the
agreed.
practice they need.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into our next segment. This is called Face the Stats. And Mr. Statman himself, let's go ahead and hear those stats from this last preseason game against the Bills. What do you got?
All right, so they were kind of evenly matched. I mean, you can't really judge a game in preseason based off stats because it's a lot of no-namers that probably won't even play with the team after the preseason's over. But let's start it out. Total plays for the Bills was 62 on the day, and the Lions had 60. Also, total yards 259 for the Bills, 248 for the Lions. Total drives 9 for the Bills, 10 for the Lions. Yards per play 4.2 for the Bills, 4.1 for the Lions. Biggest stat out there, no turnovers the entire game. Let's go 2 sacks on the Bills quarterbacks for 20 yards. We had 4 sacks for a minus 29 yards in that game. And I want to bring up one of those sacks, Julian Aquara. I call him as my player of the game. So, yeah.
Good job.
Uh,
Nice call. Nice
red
call.
zone. Red zone is scary right now. We were 3 times in the red zone, couldn't put up a touchdown. I think that was the scariest stat. We got to score. We got to score in the red zone. 50-50 on defense as far as red zone. The Bills were 1 of 2. 2 drives in the red zone, 1 time scored. Penalties. Now, 5 penalties is a lot for a team, but 9 penalties for 112 yards for the Bills is insane. Lions had 5 for 59, and then the time of possession was right about even. They both had about 30 minutes. Guys, I want to bring up is David Blau, 5 for 6 on his passing, 76 yards when he came in. I really like Blau. When he came in and played against Chicago, he did really good for us. Then Craig Reynolds, out of nowhere, comes into the game. 6 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown. And I was talking about this guy a little bit, Tom Kennedy. 4 catches, 46 yards on the day. And Julian Aquara was putting pressure all day long on those quarterbacks when he was out there. And I tell you what, I'm excited to see that guy in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean that brings us, basically into our hot or not, our new post game segment, hot or not. My two players I thought did really well were hot was Amari St. Brown. I thought he didn't have a whole lot, just 2 receptions for 12 yards, but I thought his play looked really good. And then Craig Reynolds was my other player, as you mentioned, 6 attempts, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. I just thought his story in general was absolutely amazing. Meeting most of the people in the huddle and then introducing himself and then going and scoring a touchdown. So that was pretty amazing. I watched his press conference and thought it was really funny that how that happened, how it all went down. But he looked good. He looked really good. And my not so hot players, I'm going with Tavai and surprising Sewell. First off, Tavai, I think, is absolutely horrible linebacker. I think he needs to be cut like ASAP. And he's slow. He can't get to the ball carriers. He was just missing everything. And I don't feel like he's ever in the right place at the right time. And Sewell, even himself, said that he's definitely got some stuff to work on. I was really surprised at how badly he was getting beat out there. And hopefully they can improve on that, as these preseason games get going.
How did you like that young linebacker?
Barnes?
Yes.
Barnes? Yes.
Lights out.
I was going to mention him. Take out Tavai and put Barnes in there. Man, that's the kind of linebacker that we need right there. Like, why is he not starting? What the heck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's going to be a starter. The way he played, you just can't pass that up. Amon-Ra St. Brown looked like a stud. I can't wait to see him play week 1 versus the Niners. Yeah, I can't wait either. It's going to be – I have called him myself. Everybody knows how much I like Golden Tate. I call him the next Golden Tate.
Yeah, he's been –
I really believe he's just got that open field ability.
Golden Tate himself called him out on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love him. I think he's going to be great. I'm so glad that you brought up the Barnes linebacker because he's been on my head the whole time. I was going to mention him just before you did, or just right as you were going to do it. I was going to do the same thing because that guy was a beast. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he was lighting it up on the field.
I mean, I pretty much got your guys. Who was hot in your eyes for the game? Who's your hot players?
I thought David Brown. Jamal Williams looks really good. I got him as a hot. David Blau is a hot. Derek Barnes is a hot. And I have Julian Aquara as a hot. My colds, Tavai, as you already mentioned. Sewell didn't look very good when I seen him out there. And Goff seemed a little off. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
He did at first. He did a little at first, but he started picking it up a little bit towards the end of his playing time. I noticed that. That's why I didn't mention it, but I thought he did a little bit better towards the end. But, yeah, at first he didn't look very good at all.
And I was expecting to see a little bit more out of Terrell Williams and that other Cephas, Quintez Cephas. I was expecting a little bit more out of him in that first game. I wanted to kind of see him come out of the shell that he was in last year. Because he came out with some crucial plays for us last year. Just like to see him be consistent with that.
All right, we got a comment. I'm not worried about Penei Sewell going to be a beast and going to be a beast stud. Big V might make Sewell look bad. Yeah, I mean, overall in general, it's just the first preseason game. So you're not going to see every player make every play. It's just one game. They're not even – the starters aren't even out there for a quarter. You know what I mean? So you're not going to see everything in one preseason game. And that's one thing I want to mention real quick. The amount of blasting that I seen the Lions getting after that preseason game was over because of that loss. Because they lost, was ridiculous, if you ask me. I think the second string and third string players played excellent football, to be honest. They played hard. They played the whole time. They did not give up. I mean, what are you guys expecting? It's preseason week 1.
Right.
And you guys are already giving up and blowing up the Lions like they're garbage because you've seen the offense for a quarter and you're placing your judgments on the whole season off of one quarter. I mean, come on, guys. One pride here. One pride.
Exactly.
That's all I'm going to say.
And I also want to mention something about the end of that game. That Campbell decided to let the clock run out instead of trying to run a play because he wanted to teach his players a lesson.
That coach is a beast, man.
So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he wanted to point out that you can't make a bad play, you can't make penalties, you can't do this and expect to get an easy win or some fluke miracle every game. You just can't expect it. You should be playing good all game long and win the game outright. So yeah, he let the clock run out at the end because he wanted to teach the players a lesson.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I like Campbell. I like everything that he does. Not once yet have I seen him make a bad choice or a bad decision. If he's trying to teach the players a lesson at the end of a preseason game, so be it. Let him. Because the coach prior to this was a lazy, piece of garbage that wouldn't do any of that anyway. So at least we have a coach that cares and is trying to teach these players discipline and all that stuff they need to be a successful football team. So I'm all for Campbell, whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, same here.
As of right now, I mean, if he starts doing some crazy stuff in the middle of a nail biter mid-season, then we're going to be talking a different conversation. But as of right now, so I mean, Statman, what's your overall take on the game against the Bills? Overall takeaway.
I mean, obviously, there's work to be done. There's always going to be work to be done, whether you win or lose in this league. You know what I mean? What's that?
McNeil's a monster at defensive tackle as well.
Yeah, I seen that as well. I did forget to mention him. He's a stud. He's going to be a starter for us too, and there's a reason why he's listed number 1 on the depth chart. Guy's a freak of nature. But what was I talking about?
Just the overall thoughts on the game.
So yeah, there's always work to be done in the NFL, whether you win or lose every week. There's good things and bad things, and I've seen a lot more positive than I've seen negative. Yep. Few negative things out there that I see, like Tavai, for example. He's obviously needs to find a new home. He can't keep up, and you can't allow him to keep getting burnt by tight ends and slot receivers because he's just not fast enough to keep up with them. You know what I mean? And
right.
you can't afford to have somebody on the team like that. Maybe special teams he's better at. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe just put him on special teams so he can just run down there. I don't foresee him making any tackles because he's horrible at that. So practice squad, I don't know.
Yeah, I see him in the capacity of special teams and definitely a bench player.
Yeah, not a starter. There's players sitting there chopping at the bit to have that position, and they should get an opportunity at that position because Tavai needs to go for sure. Overall, I'm kind of with you on the same track. I thought the Lions played hard the whole time. I thought they played well. Like you said, there was a few mistakes here and there. I was a little disappointed in the offensive line in general. I thought all this hype, maybe they could have did a little bit better. But again, it's only preseason week 1, so I'm not going to throw too many judgments out there as far as the offensive line goes. Sewell even commented that he knows some of the things he needs to work on, and he's going to get to work on them. So we'll see. And Campbell's not going to lazy around and let that sit like that. So just got to wait and see what happens. for the next
There ain't
one.
no turds. No turds. That's his exact quote. There ain't no turds here. I think Tavai has a place. He's good inside the tackles as a blitz or running back spy, but coverage not so much. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on that. I've seen good out of Tavai, but recently it's just been bad. But I do want to bring up the fact that Lions football is back, okay? I'm just happier than hell that I get to watch the Lions every Sunday now and enjoy myself on the show and have a good time and talk with good friends and fans of the game. And I can't wait for you guys to sign up to be guests because it's awesome. It's just an awesome atmosphere on here. And we let you say what you want to say. We don't care.
Yeah, remember, anybody that wants to be on the show, go on to our Facebook page, We Are Lions Nation group page. Send a message in the group page saying that you would like to be a guest and talk Lions football. We will put you on the list and we will have you on. It's not hard to do. We'd love to have you in. We'll bring you in at the guest spot and then we'll go from there and, enjoy that. We love having people on here. Again, remember to please like, subscribe, and share if you're watching on YouTube. And to everybody that did watch, thank you so much. We will be back.
Hit the like button, please. And we're not going to close out the show without me singing the fight song.
Okay? Oh, we're not. We're not. That's a staple. We're going to do that. I also want to mention, just make sure that if you're watching, thank you so much. Make sure that you're sharing. Help us get our name out there. We have a lot of more stuff coming, especially when the season starts. We have a lot of other segments that we're going to be doing. Things are going to be heating up. I can't wait. Statman, I know you can't wait. But it's been great to see Lions football in general, like you said. I'm really happy about it. Before we close out the show, we got to do the one thing that we always do, and that is the Statman going to bring us that fight song. Let's hear it, buddy.
Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield, and win the blue and silver wave. Stand and cheer the brave, rah, 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 go hard, win the game. With honor you will keep your fame, down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions!
All right, that is it. Hey, on behalf of the Statman, I am the Soul Man, Andy Souls. This has been We Are Lions Nation Podcast Live. Make sure you join us every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and Friday night at 7 p.m. as well for our pregame show. We'll be back this Friday. And we will see you all there, hopefully. Everybody have a great night. 7 p.m. We will be live. Everybody have a great night. Look, Statman, you have a great night, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, good night, everybody.